Got me?
There you go. There you go.
Can you hear me?
I certainly can. You can hear me? First off, I'm Dave. That's Jim.
Jim and Dave show. I'm Dave.
Yes. Hi, Dave. Hi, Jim. Dave.
Yep. All right. There we go.
Hey, Rob.
Thank you guys for taking the time to join us. That's like, it's, I know everybody's doing fucking crazy shit, but thank you very much. Like, we really, really appreciate it. Especially
dudes.
So what brought you guys together? What sort of sparked it?
I was building a studio in a friend's garage, and I needed help from a carpenter, and I thought of Mike, and we kind of started hanging out again, and kind of started talking about making music again, and yeah, I guess that's what sparked it. Anyways.
Yeah, Dave, you want to add anything to that one, or we're gonna leave it at that?
No, I don't even come in until like 3 months later.
Like, was this an idea you guys had? Because between the musicians in your band, it's pretty fucking crazy.
Well, I just wanted to do a couple songs with Mike at first, and then we're having a really good time with it, and then just turned into doing a bunch of more songs, and then talked about just doing an album, and we'd done a couple albums before under a different band together, and then realized that we needed a band, and then so that's when we obviously thought of Dave and Garrett to jump in, join the board.
At first, it wasn't really about being in a band. And that was
it wasn't about being a band at first. It wasn't until everyone got together, and like me and Mike kind of wrote a lot of the material first, and then we kind of came in, all started jamming the songs out together, and they all really started taking shape at that point, and it really started to turn into something more than just making a record, I think, at that point.
Yeah, there was a while there where I was in a fucking tailspin in life, and Rob had asked me if I wanted to do this thing, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds good. And then so I had to like start psyching myself up to get ready, to actually fucking leave my house. I'm an old pro at this isolation business. The fucking ISO king, man. I'm the fucking ISO king.
Yeah, boy.
So anyway, then I finally said, yeah, okay, let's do this.
What brought you to Wasted Wax? How did that all come to be?
The shirtless guy beside me. I'm blind.
He thought that was a chest tattoo.
Pretty sick.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, I mixed a record for Citizen Rage, and was talking with Mark, and he kind of filled me in, and we were old pals, so but that and visiting him, I guess, and yeah, just kind of filled me in on what Bart had been doing and cool releases, and I thought it would be cool to work with someone local.
Oh man, I remember him saying he heard your demo, and he's like, "Oh, it's fucking great. I want to do it." And I'm like, and I have to interview, and I don't get to fucking hear it.
Maybe, can you hear this?
Thanks, asshole. It's got I find it's got this duality that a lot of music don't have. Like it's like this melody and a hardcore side. I love it.
I think Dave brought a lot of the melody. It really changed a lot of shit when Dave joined up.
Are you used to singing in bands? Like, is that predominantly what you're comfortable with?
Well, me and Mike Jack had a band called Fucker for 10 years. I sang in that band and he played guitar in it.
Do you have plans after, like, when the doors open? You got your album coming? You're gonna tour it?
That's for you, Dave.
What's that?
I'm willing to do whatever Dave's willing to do.
That's a dangerous gamble.
Well, I'm going to be going out with the Mackenzies a bit.
Oh, okay.
We're all here in Edmonton. The real Mackenzies are spread out around the fucking world. We can't get together and rehearse and stuff. So that's the good thing about this band is we're like right here. We can rehearse all the time, write stuff. So it's gonna probably take over my existence at some point, but totally, completely.
What are some of the biggest differences between back when you first starting as opposed to now?
Bigger. Hey, you're talking to a guy who was in it from like 80 until like 87 when I left SNFU. Then I started cooking or washing dishes to pay my rent. I ended up as fucking worked my way up and became a chef. And I was in the business for 20 years. And I was just music was a side thing, right, for all that time. And so then in 2014, when I got back in SNFU, it was like, fuck, I had to relearn everything, right? But it's got a lot of a different meaning to it now than it did have back then, right? There's a lot more commercial aspect.
Do you feel that the social climate's changed musically? Do you think that danger is still acceptable to the new audiences?
Fuck no, man. Like,
sad.
The internet has fucked shit up.
Oh,
I mean, it's made things great, but David Bowie was absolutely fucking right when 1980 fucking 2 or whenever he said that it was going to fuck things up.
Is it being used to its full potential, and is it diluting things too much?
A lot of people are doing great things, like mail order marijuana and stuff like that. That's fucking awesome. But no. There's a lot of people that are doing great stuff with internet as a medium and things like that in terms of art and activism and whatnot. But there's a lot of shit out there too. A lot of shit. A lot of weird shit.
Unfortunately, it's open to everybody, I guess. Eh?
No, I heard the internet's open 24 hours a day now too.
Yeah, except in Saskatchewan.
What historical figure would you want to hang out with and why?
That's hard. Rob, you got one?
Oh, man. I don't know. People of the past were so fucked up. I can't think I'd get along with any of them. I think our political views would differ.
Well, I gotta say that, for me, like I always look back at eras. Fuck, would have been cool to be around in that era, and just doing some of the, like pirating, for example. I would have done that, and look, I ended up with one fucking leg, right? So,
would have been great.
So maybe if I wanted to be somebody, maybe like Blackbeard or something, or some,
I think you would have been a badass pirate, Dave.
So I'm curious too, like as to how young you guys were when you realized you were this into music.
Super young. I started playing drums when I was like 7 or 8 or something. Guitar shortly after. Everything. Always been into it. It's pretty much the only thing that I'm good at. I pretty much suck at everything else in life. So.
Yeah. Do you have an age though? Do you think like you're just basically youth?
I had an older sister, so I got like a Ramones Mania tape, and remember getting Misfits Walk Among Us and stuff like that, and just spent a lot of time just playing along to set tapes and cranking them up in my room, and just always all I've ever done. And outside of that, I just work at a recording studio. So,
am I wrong here? Like with Ristrikt too, like you're letting someone else do the work, like as far on that end.
Yeah, I tracked the album, but we decided to go with Jesse Gander from Rain City to mix it. just a big fan of a lot of the work that he does. And then the mastering, we went with what's the guy's name that mastered it there, Dave?
Alan Duche
That's it.
from West Side.
I got to do all the fun parts and then send it off for everything else. So.
He did an amazing fucking job too.
Was it strange to put that in someone else's hands?
I was really, really happy to give it to somebody else, actually. And in the meantime of waiting for it, I think me and Mike just about got 10 songs fucking ready to go. So,
wow.
I'm pretty happy with the way the mixes sound.
From what I heard,
there's a couple of little nitpicky things, but overall, I think it really nails it.
Yes.
I saw the outtakes where you guys did like a little bit from each of you.
Oh, that's all demo stuff.
I loved it.
Well, the show's not going to be out for a while, so we'll talk about getting.
So you can edit the stupid shit I say out.
No, that's what we keep in.
From now on, it's gonna be off the record. Off the record, I'm gonna have a hit off my fucking mighty vape right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my pipe go.
What's your most embarrassing moment, either on stage or in life in general?
And we were opening up for SNFU, and it was I think it was in Red Deer for some reason, and I got super day drunk in the morning, and I was working at a bar, and my boss drove me there, and the stage at the place we were playing was built out of all these big square blocks, and I just remember being fucking so drunk and walking around moving forward, and I stepped right in a fucking hole and just smacked the fucking ground. Guitar stopped dead. Yeah, and then it took a minute to get up, and fucking our singer Fathead was kind of a dick, so he had a good time pointing it out to everyone and laughing, so it was good.
So we're playing, and it's Humble Life of Disarray. It's got that little right in the middle, right? And so fucking, so it's coming up to that part, right? And there's this part for me right before it to make a jump. All right. And when I land, I fucking hit that little, everybody stops and I do that bass run. Right. So fuck up in the air I go off of this little riser. It was only about like 6 inches high. Fucking, I'm not even like an inch off the ground. It seemed like, boom, fuck. My head drove into this pipe that was running along. Right. And I fucking just crumpled like a fucking rag doll, right? Down on the floor of the stage. Fucking bass is like, right? And these fucking kids in the front, they're all looking at me going, wow, fuck, you see that? You know? And, you know, like, and I'm trying to get up, right? And I'm like, fucking, and I get up, and then I'm like, I'm looking around, and I've got my hand on my bass, my left hand, and I'm giving her shit with my right, just picking along, right? But I have no idea where I am, right? Like, I don't know. I can't fucking see the room, nothing, right? I'm just fucking, all I'm doing is holding my bass with my left hand and grinding the fuck out of the strings with my right. And then it started to like, everything started to like, kind of like the ringer was wearing off, you know? And I started to be able to hear, and fucking Muck and Bunt are looking at me like, what the fuck? What are you doing, man? And fucking Teddy's like, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing? Right? And I'm like, so finally I figure out where I am in the song, and we fucking end the song, and I'm like, Mark's like, what the fuck's going on, man? What happened? And I'm like, fuck, I jumped up and fucking rammed my fucking head in that pipe. That's what fucking happened. Fucking knocked myself out. Fuck, don't give me shit.
What are some of your most memorable touring experiences, both good and bad?
I think when we were on tour with the Real Mackenzies, actually, I bet Dave will remember this, was we played Vancouver at the Rickshaw, and our singer Ben, anything that could have went wrong for that night. Fucking, You ever seen something fucked up
bass amp
happen?
died.
For some reason, you look at it before it actually happens. But he was swinging his mic around a couple of times. They lost a couple of mics into the crowd, and people were getting mad at him and yelling at him. And then he decides to throw a water bottle out into the crowd, like a pretty big water bottle. And I remember watching it soar. And I remember some girl, like in the rickshaw, halfway back in the audience, turns around just as it comes and it smashes her right in the face. And I think he pretty much received flying beer cans at him for the rest of the show. But I enjoyed it. It was probably a lot more shitty for him, but I had a good laugh.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember that. I remember fucking everything going wrong that night. And I remember the kerfuffle after the set, maybe.
Yeah.
Somebody hit me with the bottle.
See, fun can still be dangerous sometimes. There's still flying bottles.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm sure you got a million of these stories.
My best time touring was the last Canadian tour SNFU did. We had 38 shows in like under 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, like one fucking marathon run across Canada all the way and back. It was just that lineup with Randy and Kurt and Bati and with Yon driving and doing TM stuff and Johnny Mac doing the merch.
Yeah.
There was just like, it was so tight and there was so much love. We just like every day was good.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you guys slayed it on that tour too.
It's a good trip.
That was the Blaze of Glory.
Yeah, it was. And it was a great time. Like, I mean, we were pretty tuckered when we got to the hat. And I fucking dislocated my fucking toe on my remaining foot the night before in Saskatoon. Or that morning in Saskatoon.
Oh, Jesus.
And I fucking I sat on a stool that night at that show. And it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I had the best time, man. It was like, it's a perfect stool. It was swivelly and I could sit back and I was just fucking rocking.
Y'all had your A game going, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were pretty tuckered out by the time that that show came around. And the next 2 or 3 that were left after that, but
you guys played left the next day. Yeah, because remember, we all got super baked looking at that big train bridge.
Oh yeah.
And that lady was going there to pick up a homeless person. Wasn't that it?
I don't know, something.
And he's like, hey, I'm in a band. And she's like, it's not like you're world famous. And we were all there like, yes, it is, actually. No, that was a great run for you guys, man.
But it was a fucking great tour, and it was there was so much love on that trip. Like, it's just, that's one great thing to touring with Chai was that, it was like, you got to see a lot of how he had affected people's lives. You got to hear the stories.
Well, anywhere he went, right? Anywhere he went, people were just everywhere. Like, holy fuck.
A lot of it was the same sort of thing, but, told in a different way, in a funnier way, or, whatever, and, just shit that people been through in their lives, and you fucking got me through some shit, and I love you for it, and all that stuff, right? Pretty awesome to see that. You
wrote songs that seem to tap into experiences a lot of people have, various different experiences.
Yeah, that's just it, right? Odd experiences, because fuck, that guy had a really whacked imagination. But it all made sense,
But that's a thing about SNFU as well, is like Chai was lucky to have you guys as musicians. That's how bands often work. It's like you guys created an ambience that made what he was saying really stand out.
I would agree with that for sure.
Every fucking SNFU show was an event,
Oh, absolutely.
It was like, you want to see what the fuck is going on. Chai was going to do this time. And I mean, I'm talking about the older days, right? When there was lots of popcorn and, puffed wheat and honey and fucking all that stuff, you know. Like, it took like 3 days to clean up, you know. Fucking poor fuckers, you know.
I think you shared a lot there with us, man. That was pretty.
Fucking icon, man. There's lots to talk about there.
Garrett asked me from the Devil's Voice, who are doing, they're going to be playing that. It's that their SNFU tribute band.
Right.
And Garrett from Ristrikt is the drummer for that. So he said, "You want to come up and play a couple tunes?" And I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, sure. And then, you know, and then I started realizing what I was getting into, right? And, you know, so this last week now, since I've been agreeing to do this thing, the fucking emotions have just been flowing for me, man. It's been crazy.
It's been a long 18 months, Dave, or fucking whatever it's been as well, you know. You got, there's got to be, on top of some of the fucked up feelings, there's got to be a couple of excited feelings too.
Oh,
you almost got to grab onto those ones and hold on to them.
oh,
I think it's so fucked up for any of us to jump back into this. Like, personally, I am losing my fucking mind. Like, you want to know the truth why Ristrikt started? Probably a lot to do with that. You know, just fucking the intensity of just like, I haven't stepped still for this long and so long. And like I said earlier, this is all I'm good at. This is all I'm good at, music. But man, like, I just can't wait to get back at it. Like, writing an album almost doesn't feel like enough. I need that fucking interaction again, that energy. Energy.
Yeah, when I got the call to do the Mackenzies, as soon as I could give an answer, I was like, yeah, I'm in, right?
Fuck yeah.
You know, fucking right. So I'll go play a couple shows in Quebec.
Well, I think you got a good project going here, and like, man, you're gonna slay people when he come out.
Oh yeah, Mike's a fucking badass guitar player too, and it's like this whole project is based around his riffs for sure. So he's fucking killer. Like I said, I worked with him in a band for like 10 years before this, so it's super familiar, super comfortable. And then yeah, just like everything that like Dave really does add a whole different edge to it. Like Mike has such a metal edge, but Dave really has all these more sweet sounding things. And you know, when you mix them together, I guess you said it earlier yourself, how it has a bit of both worlds there too. And it's fucking nice. Like I'm honestly blown away by the fucking playing in this band because
I am a little bit too, actually.
It's I'm happy to contribute whatever I'm doing for sure. But yeah, it's a great. I'm super excited to release this album and to see where this all goes. That's for sure.
If you guys could be on any sitcom,
All in the Family.
nice.
I could have been a meathead. I could have been meathead. I mean, you know, I could have been Gloria too.
Rob, what would yours be?
Probably like the Addams Family or something. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but yeah, that would suit me pretty good.
Nice.
Anyways, we should bring this back to the fucking music.
Okay, well, here, let's jump to Emma's questions.
Emma's question gonna make you feel alright. Emma's question is gonna shed some light.
What is the scariest thing you ever done?
Well, truthfully, I could not answer that question honestly to a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old. So answering it to a 6, 7-year-old would be getting on an airplane.
I gotta get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Just please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Do you want another phone?
Starting this project.
If you were a superhero, what would your superhero name be, and what would your superpower be?
I would be I bacon eater. My superpower would be to like distribute bacon to the masses, but without hurting any pigs.
I would be the super stoner probably. and
Super stoner?
the super stoner, and I would
Oh, I
just
thought you
slow
said the super
everything
stoner.
down, man. I'd slow everything down. That'd be helpful for me, at least, anyways.
That's a good one.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Okay, and Emma's last question. What do you
Oh,
do?
fuck, yeah, that's right. I was a 6-year-old. Just change it for me after, yeah.
What do you do when you feel sad?
Listen to music. All right? Same thing as everyone else does.
Yeah.
I let myself feel sadder and sadder and sadder. That's what it takes to not feel sad anymore. Well, I mean, sometimes you gotta be sad for some things. You gotta.
It's true.
And if you're sad and do it the right way, then it won't come back to haunt you so much later. Kind of like what's happening with me right now.
Hopefully not because of this interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. Actually, just solely because of Jim.
I have that effect on people.
But all you have to do is look at his beautiful eyes, and then it just takes you away to a happy place.
Oh, yeah.
I'm dead sexy, mate.
Tell us your superhero.
Mine?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
You remember Neil, our guitarist? He wrote a short story called REM Man. And it was about a guy that when he was asleep, he would sleepwalk and he would fight crime in his underwear.
Fucking A. I love it.
I don't think Dave said what superpower he'd want.
Mine I've known for a long time. I would have the power of persuasion.
Oh,
Yeah, you want to take your shirt off for me, baby.
You heard him, Dave. Take his shirt off.
I'd just like to say together we'd be the worst crime fighters.
We would be.
What do you think the pandemic will have filtered? Or nothing? Do you think there will be nothing? Do you think there'll be a change because of our isolation in punk?
I'm a bit of an optimist, but I really fucking hope that I feel like it's going to be pretty wild. Everyone's so quick to, I think everybody wants it. It might be weird at the very beginning, but a few people, but I think it's going to be absolutely insane.
People have had a lot of time on their hands, right? So there's been a lot of time for people to think about a lot of that stuff and to be creative with some, whatever they do.
I think that's been building, that's waiting to explode.
Were you guys surprised that Bart just wanted to put you guys on? Like, he's like, all right, we're in? Like, it's not very common that some people make a demo and get on a label, is it?
That's how good your demo is, I guess.
That's what
well,
the band.
It must be awesome.
We just said I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time to let us waste your time.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, man.
Absolutely.
It was great talking to you guys, and it was good to see you again, Dave.
You too, Rimbo.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot, dude.
Cheers, Dave.
Cheers.
Have a good one, guys.
Take care.